Hello and welcome back to the channel. This is We Talk Football. Now, it's the end of the season, and so you'll have a lot of talk, chatter, about, things like awards, player of the season, young player of the season, all that. But today I wanted to focus on the team of the season, especially before we get deep into transfer talk, before I feel like I already see videos of Fabrizio Romano every day. And, before we get into deep transfer talk with people like David Ornstein, I wanted to focus on the Champions League team of the season. We just saw PSG make a mess of Inter Milan, you know what I mean? Big double patty burger. PSG messed up their whole outfit. They have sauce everywhere. Inter Milan sauce I'm talking about, because they made a mess of the Milan Giants, right? And so today I wanted to talk about the best players in each, the best players in each position. I wanted to make a team of the season for the Champions League. And it was a great Champions League season. I thought it was entertaining. It was fun. And so let's start with the formation. It's going to be a 4-3-3. Traditional, well, not traditional, but it's a formation that a lot of teams are playing right now. The winners, PSG, play 4-3-3. And starting off with the goalkeeper, the Champions League winning goalkeeper, Gigi Donnarumma. He's been fantastic this season. You know what I mean? Especially in the knockout phases, where I felt like he stepped up his game. He was huge, like literally, figuratively, he was huge for PSG. When I watched him in the last 16 against Liverpool, the first match, I felt like he was responsible for the goal. He could have saved it, but he came back, and in the second leg at Anfield, you couldn't get past him. Nothing could get in his way. He could save the ocean, and he saved everything that came his way. And I think he deserves to be the goalkeeper of the Champions League season. Now at right back, I'm going for another PSG player. You'll probably see a lot of PSG players in this team of the season because they deserve it. They've been the best, especially in the knockouts, man. Like, they were the best team by far. Achraf Hakimi, the right back, he's been sensational as well. And like for a while, I was like, for a few seasons in the past, I was saying he's the best right back in the world. And I feel like last season he kind of took a little bit of a dip, but this season he's gone back even stronger. He looks as fast as he ever was, as energetic as he's always been. And I feel like he's also been really good defensively. He's also moved forward to score goals. He scored against Aston Villa. He scored against Arsenal. And so, like, that shows you the kind of offensive prowess they have there. Like, people talk about Trent and how offensively gifted he is. This guy is, like, right up there in terms of, like, offensive fullbacks. He bombs forward all the time. So Achraf Hakimi for me at right back. And then you have his left back partner. I'm going for Nuno Mendes. You remember what he did to Mohamed Salah. Liverpool fans, you know what he did to Mohamed Salah, right? Strapped up Mohamed Salah. At that time, Mohamed Salah was the best player in the world. He was number one for Ballon d'Or talks, Mohamed Salah. And Nuno Mendes wrapped him up, gave him nothing. 2 games gave him absolutely zero. And he makes my team of the season as well. Not only is he great defensively, but offensively as well. In the second leg? Yeah. If you remember, in the second leg of the Aston Villa tie in the last 8, he scored and Achraf Hakimi scored. It's like, if you have your fullbacks scoring as PSG, if you have your fullback scoring and your offensive players haven't scored a goal in that game, what a place to be. Like, that's insane. and it was a great finish. So he makes my team of the season. Nuno Mendes. My centre-back pairing, I'm going for Bastoni and William Saliba. I feel like they were immense. They were fantastic. A lot of people will be surprised by the addition of Bastoni, but recency bias, prisoner of the moment kind of stuff, got your panties in a bunch kind of stuff, and you don't want to have Alessandro Bastoni in the team of the season. He was great. He's one of the best centre-backs in world football. He's top 10 for me in world football. Big, 6'3", strong, can pass, can play. He's smart centre-back, and he's cut from that Italian cloth of resolute defensive work, that resolute defensive mind, Bastoni. And he had an awful game in the Champions League final, of course, but doesn't take away the season he had in the Champions League. Remember, Inter Milan had the best defensive record in the Champions League. Of course, now not because of the Champions League final. You could say Arsenal, but also Arsenal played a game less because we didn't make it to the Champions League final. So Bastoni and Saliba for me, especially, again, I'm like going throughout the whole season. You had Bastoni being a part of the best defense in the Champions League, and you have Saliba now as a part of the second best defense in the Champions League with Arsenal. He has to be in there. He's been consistent all year. Now, a lot of people say he hasn't had as great a season as the past seasons that he's had, especially the past 2 seasons at Arsenal, but he was still immense, especially in the knockout phases, especially when he had to face up against Kylian Mbappe. His French teammate locked him up, gave him nothing. There's a video of, Kylian Mbappe trying a step over. What was that? And Saliba was like, get out of here, man. Get out of here, man. And that's the kind of player we have. I've been saying William Saliba is the best centre-back in world football, and he makes my team of the season. Now, in midfield, I'm going for a trio of Declan Rice, Pedri, and Vitinha. Now, I know a lot of people will be saying you got to have Vitinha and João Neves together in midfield. But I feel like Declan Rice in the Champions League performed slightly better than João Neves, taking nothing away from João Neves. He's phenomenal. He's excellent, consistent, smart, very technical player, can do everything. But I feel like Declan Rice was so key for Arsenal in the Champions League. And I go back not only to the Real Madrid tie, but the PSV tie, some of the other Champions League games that he had in previous rounds, and in the group phases. And look, Arsenal had a very underwhelming season. But you have to remember, Arsenal were the third best. They finished third in the group stages in the table, right? And also got to a Champions League semi-final beating Real Madrid. And Declan Rice was the best player in both matches. You could also say Declan Rice was better in the second leg when he didn't score than the first leg. That's how great Declan Rice is, and he makes my team of the season. I feel like Pedri is probably the number 1 or number 2 most important player for Barcelona. A Barcelona attack that is activated. And for me, he's at the center of all that. Like Pedri, for me, this season was the best midfielder in the world because everything went through Pedri. Like Barcelona's attack is detonated by Lamine Yamal, but the whole team is controlled by Pedri because he starts things off, he makes plays, he passes it, gets it through the lines, gets it through to his attackers. And for me, Pedri was the best midfielder in the world this season. Vitinha was phenomenal in the Champions League. Like, I saw him, mash up Liverpool's midfield, mash up Villa's midfield, dominates the tie against Arsenal in the Champions League semi-finals. And the work that he did, there's a video I saw today. It was insane. He starts off the third goal for PSG in the Champions League final. Starts off from the back. He has it on the right-hand side of the, PSG half. You could see he's looking to start something. He's looking for someone open. Gives it to a centre back. He goes round, gets it back from midfield. He drives forward with the ball. Gives it to Dembele. Dembele rolls it back to Vitinha. And he still drives forward. Makes an insane, great pass to Desiree Doué and finish. Like that goal is as much Desiree Doué's goal as it is Vitinha. Actually, I would give Vitinha more credit than Desiree Doué, because Vitinha in that goal had more touches, drove forward, created the goal, and Desiree Doué just had to first time finish that goal. So, like, Vitinha makes my team. He's been fantastic. Shout out to Fabian Ruiz and João Neves as well. They were awesome. But I have to go with Vitinha. And my front three is made up of Rafinha, Ousmane Dembele, who's a top Ballon d'Or candidate, but my Ballon d'Or, my best player of the Champions League, my player of the season has to be Lamine Yamal on the right-hand side. It's not Mohamed Salah, sorry. It's not Desiree Doué, who might be the young player of the year. He can have that. But Lamine Yamal is the best player in the world this season. He's been unshackled. He's been lit. And the things that he did, especially in the tie against Inter Milan, I'm not sure if I've seen many individual performances like that. He dominated the game. He was the best player in both games, by far, not even close. And I've been saying this for a while now, he has greater potential than Kylian Mbappe and Vinicius Jr. He has top 10 all-time talent. Like, if his career goes as well as it is going right now, he's definitely going to be a top 10 player of all time. He'll win a Ballon d'Or or two. And for me, even though they didn't win the Champions League, but they still won La Liga and they still won Copa del Rey. So for me, like, if I'm talking about the Ballon d'Or, he is my Ballon d'Or. And he had a phenomenal Champions League season. Ousmane Dembele has been reborn. 34 goals, 13 assists in 58 games. Fantastic. Played the whole season. This is by far his best season in his career. Injury-riddled, inconsistent career. You look back at Dembele, there was a point in the Champions League match against Liverpool in 2019 where Messi gives him the ball and he pooped himself. And you could see Messi and Luis Suarez look at each other and be like, this guy's done. This guy is done. Like, you give him chances like this to score big goals in Champions League semi-finals and he poops his pants. So, like, he's revived himself. He's come back and he was the best player for PSG. But he didn't play outside the system. He played within. Kylian Mbappe was playing outside the PSG system and team. Ousmane Dembele is playing within the team, the structure, the flow of the PSG team. And so for me, he makes it as the striker up top. New position for him as well, up top. And I'm having Rafinha. People could tell me about Desiree Doué, but Desiree Doué didn't play the entire season. There were games when there was a stretch when Barcola was the starter for PSG. And now Desiree Doué has fought his way into the team. So, not Desiree Doué, fantastic talent, one for the future. But I'm having Rafinha, even though I don't think he should be the Ballon d'Or. He should not be the Ballon d'Or, Rafinha. But he still had a great season. Scored goals, he was important for Barcelona. In terms of how they scored, created, goals, the attack. And so that's my team of the season. Let me know what you think. Who did I miss out? Who do you think could have made it? I know there will be a lot of people who say people like Denzel Dumfries, he could have made it. João Neves, Fabian Ruiz, those guys could have made it. But yeah, for me, That's my team of the season. Let me know what you think. Comment down below. Like, subscribe, share. Look us up on Instagram at WeTalkFootball24 and on Facebook at WeTalkFootball. That was fun. Until then, awareness.